Hari Om. We'll do Narada Bhakti Sutra, Sutra 66 onwards. 66. Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam Nitya Dasa Nitya Kanta Vadanatmakam Prema Karyam Premepa Karyam Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam Nitya Dasa Nitya Kanta Vadanatmakam Prema Karyam Premepa Karyam. Sutra 67. Bhaktaha ekantino mukhyaha. Bhaktaha ekantino mukhyaha. Pantavarodha romascha asruvi parasparam lapamanaha pavayanti ulani prithivim cha. Pantavarodha romancha asruvi parasparam lapamanaha pavayanti ulani prithivim cha. Tirtha kurbanti tirthani
सिद्धि कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि
सुकर्मी कुर्वन्ति कर्माणि सत्शास्त्री कुर्वन्ति शास्त्राणि तीर्थ कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि सुकर्मी कुर्वन्ति कर्माणि सत्शास्त्री कुर्वन्ति शास्त्राणि. Sutra 70. The smallest sutra. Tanmayaha. Sutra 70. Tanmayaha Sanatha Yetam Bhavati Modante Pitaro Nrityanti Devataha Sanatha Eyam Cheyam Bhavati. Sutra 72. Nasti Tesu Jati Vidya Rupa Kula Ana Kriyadi Vedaha. Nasti Tesu Jati Vidya Rupa Kula Kriyadi Vedaha. Hari Om. Welcome all of you to this session of Narada Bhakti Sutra. We are almost at the finishing line. So this we did Sutra number 71 last time, when we said how a bhakta, a supreme devotee, his realization causes the past generations to rejoice. They get fulfillment when the bhakta is also fulfilled. And the devatas and the people around him also, they dance in joy. Furthermore, the earth itself, it gets a person who protects his interest. In the sense, if we have great masters on the earth, then dharma is re-established. Like Bhagavan Sri Krishna said in the Gita, dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So this is exactly what happens when a bhakta, a real-life person, is arrived on the stage of the world. He himself and the people who are influenced by him, who are motivated by him, who are inspired by him, they also life which is disciplined and dharmic. The nature's bounty are protected. So also the people's activities and also the nature of the people is also changes with the influence or the motivation of the this bhakta. It says that it also manifests also influences the unmanifest. Remember, we see only the world around us, the manifest world. So we see where so many people are influenced, billions of people are turned bhaktas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here, or when Christ was here, billions of people are adopting the methods of the preach. But also, the Sutra says that beyond that, those people who are not manifested in this world, the Pitruloka and the Devaloka, they are also influenced. Not influenced, they are also happy that yes, somebody has come in the world and we can also revamp and restructure the present things. So this is the effect of a jnani or a bhakta, a realized person. Cheyam bhurbhavati, sanata cheyam bhurbhavati. That the world itself gets a person who protects his interest. In these sutras, we are looking at the glory of the sages, glory of the realized persons, the bhaktas. Last time also we talked regarding how the supreme bhakta becomes tanmaya. That what we discussed, tanmaya. The person becomes absorbed in the Lord, absorbed totally. After that, there is no separation between the Lord and him. He becomes one with the Lord. That tanmaya, tatmaya. And you must have observed so many times, especially people become tanmaya in bhakti. So close they come, they become one with the Lord. They'll sing with joy, they'll dance with joy, and rejoice on the street without caring for what other people will think. So this is the nature of bhakti. It's very it's a divine manifested into the bhaktas. Now in this present sutra, what we are looking at, nasti tesu jati vidya rupa kula dhana kriyadi bhedaha. Nasti tesu. Tesu means among them, among the devotees, or by the devotees. Nasti bheda. Na asti bheda. There is no bheda. There is no separation. There is no distinction between them. Okay? So distinctions are not there. Separation is not there. And on what basis what these distinctions are normally created? Jati means caste. Vidya, either knowledge or culture. Rupa is the beauty. Kula is the family. Kriya is the actions or the professions a person may be having. So these are different parameters for creating a Veda, a difference between the different people. So among these perfected saints, there is no distinction based on caste, creed, culture, beauty, family, wealth, profession, etc. Okay. Nasti tesu bheda. So here, Veda. Veda means distinction, separation, groupism, all that. They know. Desu means among the devotees, the realized persons. So among the realized persons, the devotees, the supreme devotees, there is no distinction, separation with respect to worldly divisions. Because for them, what is it? A great master who has reached the height of realization, he has arrived at a pinnacle of self-realization. So that person understands the oneness of the creation. So over the centuries, we have witnessed the great masters who have arrived on the earth, like Bhagavan Shankaracharya, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, or Swami Vivekananda, or Christ, or Swami Chinmayananda. All of them, they have spread the message of love, message of knowledge, but above all, they lay the foundation for oneness. They lay the foundation for oneness through a right living, so that people live with discipline, good conduct. So they guided their followers to follow a path which was laid out with guidance, commandments, or disciplinary measures, the do's and don'ts of your time. Like Gautam Buddha gave right living, right thinking, right doing, all that 8 ones. So they guided the followers with their jnana, with their bhakti, with their shraddha, and with their vairagya. They were the examples. They set the examples how to live in this world with detachment, with vairagya, with renunciation, how to live in the world with faith, shraddha, or with jnana. Even though you have the jnana of the Paramatma, to live this world like with a worldly knowledge also. Bhakti is essential, jnana is also essential, yoga also essential. All that you combine together, there is no Veda. Also, even though they attend the Supreme, they understand that there is no the whole world, including the human beings, the animals, the birds, the smaller creatures, the worms, insects, all of them are pervaded by the same Lord. The same consciousness is pervading in all of them. Existence of one is the existence of all. So one cannot separate it out. Let's say if you see a small bird or a dog or a mosquito, all of them have got the presence of him, the blood or the consciousness in him. So how can you say that something is bigger or something is smaller? Okay. So these bhaktas, the jnanis, they spread the message of love, kindness, compassion, forgiveness with clear vision of the Lord of integrity, Lord of beauty, Lord of compassion. So these bhaktas, they're supreme lovers. they rise above the ordinary. See, ordinary people create the fission. They find the differences. But these realized persons, they go above it. And they find that all is one. The realized persons means what? They have realized that the Bhagavan is one. That is the realized. The reality is the truth. The reality is the Jiva Brahma Aikya. That is what the single most important Vedantic truth. Okay. They have risen above the fractured thoughts and actions. They don't create any animosity between the people to people. There is no Veda. See, sometimes what happens, the great masters they give the guidance that they teach the world. But after some generations, their followers make some interpretation and create differences between themselves also. It is quite natural. The human tendency, they make differences between themselves and with others also, so that they will have, dedicated followers with them. It is a question of ego between the second or third generation followers. So, on that, see, the guru or the jnani or the bhakta has an expansive vision. In his vision, he encompasses everybody in the world without distinction. Distinction means what? Finding differences. Whereas the next followers who lay down, they'll codify what is the rule. They'll like the the different rule books for the religion. So in that case, what happens? They try to divide the people. Okay. They find the differences between the people on the basis of numerous dissimilar divergent attributes. It was done with the intention to attract more and more followers into their fold. People also fell prey to that. Yes, this is my country, my people, or my region. Why I should mix with others? So people are misguided. So they found differences between man and man. Somebody will say, I am a Brahmin, he is a Sudra. How can I work with him? Somebody will say, I am rich, he is poor, we can work together. Or somebody will say, I am a professional architect and he is just a mystery. How can I have the same wavelength? I cannot work with him. So, and somebody will be a man or woman. There are millions of types of differences can be there. Such differences are numerous. And these differences are created by people. And they create diverse groups, societies, associations, identities to protect their own interest, selfish interest. It is not the vision of the master. It is the narrow, divisive vision of the followers. Every religion you will find the differences coming down later on. And then another masters will rise and he will correct the notions. You talk of Buddhism, you talk of Jainism, you talk of Hinduism, you talk of Christianism, you talk of Muslims. Every religion, the great master is perfect. His followers have created divisions for their personal selfish interest. So that is caused because of their narrow vision. Narrow vision by some influential people who look through the instrument of disintegration. They think how to divide the people and rule over them. Such divisive thoughts, divisive visions translate into actions in the form of maybe war, maybe battles, maybe terrorism, maybe violence, maybe um, enmity or conversion or devastation. All these things are, the whole world is going through this. So this is the state of the society. And what Bhagavan has said, whenever there is a dharma, then I'll come back. I'll come back, we take the avatar and come back for restoring the dharma. So when the masters, the great masters, the devotees, the bhaktas, they rise above these distinctions, they climb higher. Climb higher means not that they're climbing the parvat. They go above the thought of mundane distinctions or separations or differences. The diversity, they do not look at the diversity. They say it's one people, one person, one mankind, or one. Everything is the blessings of the Bhagavan. They don't find any difference between the people. So when they, in their thought, they rise higher, that higher level is calm and quiet and tranquil. In that height of infinitude, the devotee embraces the whole world as a sacred, divine form of the all-pervading truth, all-pervading Lord. Because when you see with the one vision, then you don't find any differences. When you divide that and find the separate cubicles, then you find the differences. The cubicles of jati, dharma, kula, and karya, all that, these are the cubicles, separate. For example, you live in a city, okay? You live in a tiny or whatever size house. Sometimes you have skirmish with the neighbor. Sometimes you see, you have jealousy. They say no, neighbors envy. Or you have, somebody has got a bigger house, you have a smaller house, somebody has got a good car or big car. Like that, there are so many differences are there. All the houses are different. So you live with this diversity. Okay. Then you're traveling. You go to the airport, you take a flight. And after you take the flight, you see the apartments. They look like from the little up, they look like matchboxes. You'll see the buildings like matchboxes, so many lined up, you can see the road also running and this thing. Okay. That time you don't see the difference between the neighbor and the friend. You don't see anymore. You still go higher altitude, then you will see that there is no difference. So in all the buildings and the roads and the temples and churches become one only. And that oneness emerge into one glow of light. And that light is one city, is Amchi, Mumbai. My city, I live in that city. So that oneness comes when your vision is higher, expansive vision. So that's why it is said, expansive vision is all inclusive. Divisive vision, narrow vision is divisive. When your vision is expansive, you include everybody there. When you have narrow vision, it's a divisive. You divide it. Similarly, the true devotees, they don't perceive any distinction between people to people or different categories of beings, or they don't see the difference between the animal or a bird or something. They say everybody, Bhagavan is there everywhere. There remains no distinction. Nasti tesu veda. And the Vedas are given, the Veda means distinctions. So he has enumerated some of the categories of Veda. There can be many others. He has given Jati, Vidya, Rupa, Kula, Dhana, Kriya, etc. You can add dozens of types of Vedas also. Color, or height, or size, or the type of eyes, or many types of Vedas there. So all this is, the distinction goes away when your vision becomes all inclusive. We go to the next sutra now. Sutra number 73. Yatastadiyana. So that this one word is separated. Yataha tadiya. Yataha means because, tadiya means like that only. They are the own nature. Tat diya. So the word meaning of this sutra becomes, for they are his own divine nature. The Bhakta is his own nature. He is not imitating anybody. So the supreme devotee, the Param Bhakta, the realized master, he understands, he realizes the oneness of the universe, one Lord present everywhere in every being. That thinking becomes his own nature. What we talked in the previous sutra, that thought process, it is no more a thought. That is his own swarupa, own nature. When you are in own nature, whatever you do little different, you come back to the same nature. Like nature of the water is coolness. You heat up, you take a saucepan and put in the heater and heat up, then the temperature will go up to 100 degrees also. But then you remove that and keep on the platform. After some time, the temperature will come down. Because the nature of the water is that coolness. It will come back to same. You cannot keep the hot water all the time. Same way the nature of fire. You cannot have a cool fire. You will have a hot fire. Same way, these bhaktas, their nature, their own nature, swarupa, becomes oneness. Oneness with the universe. That what I talked about, universal vision, expansive vision, is their own nature. Because they understand, once a person is realizing, he has gone above all these small, tiny differences and distinctions. So he realizes that the one Lord is present everywhere. Not only everywhere, but also every being. Not only every being, but all the time. Desa Kala Patra. All places, all times, and all things. All beings also. Sarva Brahmamaya Jagat. Same, one Brahman is present everywhere. The one Lord is present in a Brahmana's body, in a Chandala's body, in the lion, in the snake, or the ant. Everywhere, in every bird, animal, and insects and worms, whatever you say, same Bhagavan. It is also present. Say, there's a great banyan tree, big tree is there. The Bhagavan is present there. He is also present in the blade of grass lying on the field. He is there. There is a beautiful mantra in Mandukya Upanishad. Sarvagam hi etat brahma, ayamatma brahma, swayamatma chatuspad. Sarvagam hi etat brahma, ayamatma brahma, swayamatma chatuspad. Whatever you see, whatever you perceive around, everything is Brahman. And when everything is Brahman, my Atma is also Brahman. I am Atma. This Atma is also Brahman. Even though same Atma, it is perceived as having four padas. Ayam Atma Chatuspad. Chatuspad is describing the four padas of Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti, and Turiya states. The Jnani knows these states of experience can be different at a worldly level, but he is associating himself with the Turiya, which is the ultimate state of oneness, the Brahman. The whole universe is an expression of same one reality, that is Brahman. We can call it Brahman, we can call it Sri Narayan, or we can call it Brahma or Vishnu or Jagannath. The masters realize this truth and spread the knowledge with their understanding and their experiences. See, we see that there are so many masters, and we feel that we think that their teachings are different, their way of the dharmas are different. We think that way. But in the essential nature, all the teachings are having the core issue as the same, or core conduct. When you say, 10 commandments, it will be almost same as what Gautam Buddha gave, or what Shankaracharya is saying, or what Muhammad also said. It will be more or less same. There may be some differences, but more or less same. Minor subtle differences will be there. Message is the same. There may be some differences in the path, in the faith, the method, the practices, some differences will be there. But core essence of the teachings is the same. And these differences can be due to the geographical condition, the societal condition, the time of this when the religion started, or it can be the language, it can be the belief. So many many conditions are there, and the great masters have addressed to those conditions and made these teachings suitable for them. All these great masters, they understand and they taught that there is one truth, even though it is attained by many people by traversing on different paths. Truth is one, but you can take different routes to attain the truth. Eka Brahma Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Of course, there can be little differences here and there, but this is the fact. Yata Tadiya. The nature becomes like this only. Supreme vision, the all expansive vision. They don't find any distinctions. So what happens? This is the master's vision. But the lower rungs of the hierarchy or the devotees, the seekers who have not attained the highest level, for them, divergent orders, divergent conditions exist. They find a distinction based on caste, creed, color, dhana, mana, jati, kriya, all this, whatever is said in the previous Sutra. The people who have not realized so far, obviously they are walking the path. So for them, these differences remain. They'll find difference. A true devotee, he has realized the God, he knows that the God exists, and everything, whatever he sees, whatever he feels, is an expression of the same God. So, antar bahishcha tat sarvam vyapyam narayana sthita. Inside, outside, everywhere, you find same Narayana. So, a true devotee who has realized that the Lord alone exists, everything and every being is an expression of the same Lord, then all of them are extensions of Him only, isn't it? The devotee or me, we call it devotee. I mean, true devotee, because we are giving the respect to him because he is a great master. But by extension, we can say the Atma, me, myself. When I find that the Bhagwan's, the Lord's, the Supreme God's presence is there in everybody and every being, that's in the great devotee and in the little ones also. In the mosquito as well as in the lion. In Shishir Babu, in Dhruva. Everybody is an incarnation of the same God. His presence is there in all of us. So how can you differentiate? All of them are extension of the Bhakta only. Because Bhakta is also having the same Bhagavan. So that's why Bhakta's nature becomes the nature of Bhagavan. Isn't it? That all expansive nature of Bhakta is the same as the all expansive or all pervasive nature of the Lord also. So that is called Yata Tadiya. Because that person, and he becomes his own nature, he doesn't find any difference. So great masters don't find the distinctions between person to person. between themselves also, since all of them belongs to that Bhagavan only, him only. There cannot be any comparison. There cannot be any contrast. There cannot be any distinction between people to people or other beings also. They cannot differentiate between I am a jnani, you are a bhakta, or you are a yogi. All are masters in their own field. So these distinctions are created by the lesser mortals, the followers in the next generations. Those people are still proceeding on the path of spiritual involvement, but then the expansive vision has not come to them. That's why they find a distinction between person to person. But these great masters, when they have this all encompassing, all expansive vision and all in one, then that is the nature of Bhagavan, all pervading Bhagavan. The nature of all pervasion is also pervading the nature of the masters. So their nature becomes Bhagavan's nature, becomes each that Bhakta's nature, and the Bhakta's nature also influences and motivates other people, lesser mortals like us. Yadastadiya. They are his own divine nature. Pado na balamya. Pado na balamya. Pado na balamya. Pada na avalamya. Pada na avalamya. Bada. Bada means what? Disputes or controversies. No avalamya means we should not enter into this controversies. Vain controversies, arguments, discussions, disputes should not be entered into. Now, why this is coming in a Bhakti Shastra that you should not fight with each other? Why it is coming in the Bhakti Shastra? Because Bhakti requires certain level of faith. Faith means acceptance. Without acceptance, with, say, you find there's somebody, you try to find out the differences between one creed to another, then obviously you'll be distracted from your spiritual path. So as I told you, the great masters have realized oneness of all, the essential divinity in all beings that are endowed with an expansive vision. See, I'm telling you topic is the same. So I'm utilizing the same expressions. Same expression because the topic is the same. However, the devotees, the seekers with the narrow vision, sometimes they engage in controversial discussions from arguments and small things like the type of chandan or kumkum they'll put on their head. Some people will put horizontal, some people will vertical, some people will, that is the differences are there. Somebody will only put a tika, somebody will put a yagyam bhasma as a tika. So there are so many differences are there. So people with that bent of mind, they'll find the differences. And they will also argue with each other. Such arguments only creates animosity between each of them. Fissures. That means they separate out. Their oneness is not coming. Sometimes, you fight with each other, sometimes it comes to violence also. You can see violence in because of religions. In fact, there is a study that there is more violence because of the religions, which is the religions which are teaching compassion and ahimsa. Because of religions, there is more violence because of intolerance and fighting with each other. But these narrow-minded people, they create walls between different groups, different thoughts, and they use their own words. Somebody will chant this Quran, somebody chant the Bhagavad Gita, somebody chant the Bible, and they will try to establish their own methods as the supreme method. This cannot be contradicted. So these people who are not really traveled on the path of spirituality so much, these people only create this. In Hinduism, there is a tradition of Vada, arguments, but that is called Shastra. Shastrartha is a type of intellectual debate that is prevalent in India in Hinduism. Intellectual debate because it is supposed to be between Gyanis or Bhaktas who are knowledgeable. They can do the debate, Vada. It's a kind of philosophical, religious debate which the scholars participate to reveal the ultimate truth, the reality. Philosophical debate and religious debate to reveal the ultimate reality or truth, that is Shastra. It is not for the purpose of arguing and establishing that my thinking is better than your thinking. The essential truth must be established and any wrong conception has to be removed. That's why Shastrartha is done. But to remind you, the nature of the truth is such that you cannot realize it by arguments, by tarka. Tarka is necessary, but you cannot realize with tarka. So that Vada Vivada is not a means of realization. It's not a sadhana. Because a person, see, what we are doing with Shraddha, we are proving that Bhagavan exists. How can you prove that existence of Bhagavan with arguments? Or how can you prove non-existence of Bhagavan with arguments? It is normally, it's an inner experience. It's a aparaksha jnana. You cannot, by logic, by tarka, nyaya, you cannot prove the existence of Bhagavan or non-existence of Bhagavan also. It has to be realized by yourself, by inner experience of aparaksha jnana. By that realization, you shed off your shackles with the your own bondage of emotions and thoughts, and then you fly higher, the higher plane of greater thinking, greater living, and finally you can experience the reality. But it is not through arguments, it is not through Vada Vivada, it is through only inner experience. See what happens. Normally we are engaged in worldly affairs. In that worldly affairs, most of us have lot of ego, lot of vasanas, lot of kamanas, and that drives our thought process. We have a lot of what do you call flesh and blood, sensuous desires. Huh? Even the older generation also engage in such vasanas. Some people have got the intellectual superiority also. They enjoy that. I am more mature with more knowledge. But most of them dwell in the sphere of the prison of body, mind, intellect. Most of them. So such people can never understand or realize or experience the essence of truth, because that goes beyond. Truth you will not know by keeping your mind with associated with the things, objects of the world. So truth cannot be realized by arguments. It cannot be realized with the Vada Vivada. Vada Vivada only creates narrow partitions, the cubicles with walls, with mistrust, with doubt. So let us walk the path of higher vision, without any distinctions, without any separate differences. Let us engage in sadhanas that is suitable for us, and one day that path will lead us to the highest peak of realization. That is what our goal, and we should not, even if there is some distinctions, visible differences are there, we should ignore. That is titiksha also. So finally, when you nurture a higher vision, when you nurture a expansive vision, all these differences, they're diminished, and you will come to realize the truth that one Supreme Lord pervades in all beings and things. There is no point in any argument. There is no point in vivada. I am a bhakta, he is a jnani, or I am greater and he is less. All that has to be avoided. So that's why he's saying vado na pavalambya. Do not don't enter into any arguments, discussions, or disputes. To accept it. By acceptance doesn't mean that you have to follow it. Okay, if you are saying so, accept it, no problem. So with this, we'll conclude our session today. Up to 74, we'll finish. Thank you. I'm close.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.